This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie for your Wednesday podcast. Congratulations to William. Bill has won the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie merch pack. Pack coming your way, William, in the post. It'll be there.
Do you know what? We've got a new item which we've added to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie merch, which Kate has signed off on, used and approved, the She-Wee. Which is a device that women can use.
Approved that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
So you wee into it and it acts like an appendage, and it's easier for women to stand up and wee.
Oh, thank you so much for worrying about what's going to make our lives easier.
We don't have one of those.
We don't?
We tried, but you can't customise them, we found out. So, unfortunately...
As hard as we've tried on the weekends, moulding and shaping.
Oh, my
And you didn't even want to come round to start with.
Which is unbelievable. You have your own showers, Whip. Hey, there's another podcast password coming up in this episode, so listen out for that.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I want to focus on Dua Lipa because I know Tom, our executive producer, does quite a bit, you sicko.
I don't know. Wonderful singer, guys.
She is, but the way you just spoke in a girly, and nothing wrong with girls, but a girly little fashion, twisting your hair
And
and
the way-
saying, I noticed what she does on her socials.
Have you seen the finger marks on Tommy's iPhone? They're just sort of pushing out to the corners all the time.
Yeah,
as he
I know,
zooms
he's
in on
zooming
Dua
in.
Lipa's
Well,
post.
I didn't know this, but Dua Lipa has a new boyfriend.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, she does. He's very handsome.
Well, she got rid of Amway, Hadid.
Anwar.
What is it?
Ayman, is it?
No, well, this is what we need to work. It's Anwar Hadid,
Gigi's brother.
which is the brother of Gigi and Bella.
Bella,
Talk
that's
about
right.
punching. Like, I've never...
He's a young model.
I've never, ever
Wealthy.
seen a guy with the ability to pull attractive women with a head like this bloke.
Well, I tell you what, the guy that she's with now is punching. That's Romain Gavras.
I don't think he's punching.
He's a handsome man.
I mean, he's got a full
He's
beard.
very stylish and kind of like
He's
a bit
French.
silver in the sides there. Imagine the accent. I mean, I think he's...
Silver in the sides is good.
So this is their first outing, Kate, as a new couple, and Amway has seen that.
Anwar.
Anwar. And he has basically put up on his Instagram story, he's taken this down since, but Fitzy got onto it, screenshotted it.
Well done, buddy.
well done.
So he's taken a photo of himself and said, trying not to find and kill him.
One of the great burglars, this guy.
Then
subtle.
he's done another Instagram story saying, have fun. And then the last
Oh,
one...
she will, mate.
And then the last one, he's written, I hate the way you say my name.
He's talking to
Is he
you.
talking to
So, well, this is the thing.
Don't call him Amway.
We were
Maybe
saying...
that's why they broke up.
Amway.
Dua couldn't get it right.
Do it an Amway.
Well, what is the correct pronunciation of his name?
Anwar.
Anwar.
It's Anwar.
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 On a Hanwar.
Anwar.
She must have been getting that wrong. And the question...
Anwar.
Okay. The question that I need to...
Anwar.
the question that I need to ask
Anwar.
is how long was she getting his name wrong in the relationship? Do you know...
You can get the name wrong, the pronunciation wrong. Just don't say someone else's
Yes, but
name.
what if she yelled it out in bed?
That's what I'm saying.
Anwar.
Anwar!
Can I also say this?
Amway.
And I reckon this would have happened in relationships before, and I'd love to throw this out there. But have you gone out with someone for a long time and you were getting something wrong about them the whole time? Because you know when you get to that point where you can't inform them anymore? This is without a word of a lie. I had a mate who went out with a girl for 2 years, Kate, and he didn't find out until he went to her grandmother's funeral that her name...
What was it?
So it was... Let me get this right. I've just got to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on.
Write it down.
I've forgotten the name
Bit
now.
of prep, mate. Bit of prep.
But it was the same rhyming name. So it was Tate, but she was calling her Kate the whole time for 2 years.
That can't be right.
And the family got to a point where they just went, well, we can't tell him anymore. And he was getting her grandmother's name wrong the whole time, and he didn't find out what her real name was until the grandmother's funeral.
See, if I was to meet somebody at the bar and I was single and they told me their name and it was like, it was a strange name that I knew was going to be challenging for me.
What do you mean strange?
Like if it was a name that wasn't common or popular like Kate, right? Let's say it was plus for doopy-doo or something. I don't know. I'm making it up.
What are you doing?
I would very quickly go, this conversation ends here because I'll struggle with your name till the day you die. So there's no point.
That's real laziness.
Hey, for doopies, it's not going to work between you and I because your parents have branded you for life, and I've lost interest.
Do you know what I did once with a boyfriend? I don't know what happened to me, but I seriously thought his favourite meal was nachos, right?
That's awesome.
So I'm like,
You would make him nachos all the time.
I'm going to make his favourite.
And he hated it.
I go and get the corn chips, and the thing. I'm not a nachos fan, so I wouldn't even. This is not a staple in my house.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's his favourite. You know, the way to a man's heart is through his belly.
Got my packet of CCs ready to go.
Chips and me salsa. Maybe I'll do sour cream and a bit of guac on the side. I'll really dress it up.
The full spread.
Well, and so I'm like, here you go, honey, with the nachos. I'd always be a big song and dance, underlay, all this stuff. And then he goes, why do you keep making nachos?
Isn't that your favourite meal?
He had no idea.
I go, but they're your favourite, he goes, I don't like nachos. It was my ex-boyfriend's
If it's time for a winter trip, jump on What If, the place to go for quick Aussie getaways.
Probably somewhere in the snow for me.
For accommodation, flights and more, book on the What If app.
What If? It's Aussie for travel.
I have a incredible story for you guys.
Okay.
I do. I mean,
We'll be the judge of
Well, no. As far as cheating stories go, there are thousands floating around on the internet. Oh my God, my best friend got with my boyfriend.
Yep.
That kind of thing. This is next level. So stick with me
You
here.
actually look quite excited.
I am excited because sometimes, and I know it's awful, but sometimes it's nice to know that other people's lives are worse than yours.
Isn't it? Makes us all feel that little bit better, doesn't it?
So if you're having a bad day driving to work today and someone's done the dirty on you, you wait for this.
Yeah, let's make your bad day a good day.
Yes. The headline is, I need therapy after the DNA kit exposed my husband's 22-year affair.
22 years?
Jeez.
With her mum. That's
22 years.
That's just the beginning. A woman has ended up in therapy after tragically discovering her husband has been having an affair with her mum for over 2 decades and even fathered her twin brothers. So, okay.
God, that's complicated.
Wow.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Get my head around
Sometimes
that.
someone's my uncle and then they're my brother and all of that. So I'll talk you through it and you be the
Yes,
judge.
got it.
If you have a story to match this, please give us a call, 13 24 10. So this woman has come home one day and she has found in bed together her mum and her husband.
Oh, my gosh.
Her daughter was in the next room.
My God.
So the mum's granddaughter was in the house while she's in bed with the girl's father. Are you still with me here?
Yeah. I'm just picturing it. It's a bit weird at the moment. But
The easiest way for me to relate it is to someone I know. So that would be like BJ hooking up with Mick Fitzgerald.
Right, okay.
So I've got that visual in my mind.
For years and
Yeah,
years.
for 20
Well,
years.
I've got a DNA test here on Christine Whitfleet, and we can reveal that now if you would like.
No, not now.
In fact, happy birthday, Lisa. We've got a treat for you in about 2 minutes.
Happy birthday.
Oh, your dad's your brother.
A big birthday to John, who's there as well at the moment as well, by the sounds of it.
Dad, get out of there.
This woman, she's 40 years old. She said that this has broken all her trust that she had in men. And it's completely destroyed the family. So she has she's caught them in bed.
Yep.
She's pregnant with the 4th child. She already has 3 children with her husband.
What a weapon.
She's expecting the 4th child and she catches them in bed together. Yeah. She's absolutely devastated. The mum runs from the house in a sheet to her house next door.
Right.
Because this is how it all started. When they first got together, her mum and dad thought, you know what, we're going to build a ranch or a house on the same property as you, so we can all live together like a little community.
I've always found that a bit creepy.
Some families do that.
I
They buy
understand.
the one next
it
door.
takes a village to, bring up a child and all that.
When you taste independence, you get away from your parents. You can still go back and see them, but you don't live next door to them.
Yeah, lots do.
I do think it can cause a few issues, especially if you're not living with your parents and you're living with the other partner's parents.
They build the ranch.
They've built the ranch. She wants all of the answers. She's saying to her husband, "Oh my God, why? How long has this been going on? I can't believe it. I found you in bed with Mum." He reveals that the affair, this isn't a fresh thing. This has been happening for 22 years, since even before they were married, because her mum put it on her partner when he was 18 years old, and they have been together ever since. So they have actually been living out this affair for longer than the marriage itself.
I'm surprised they didn't get busted earlier. 22 years, a long time.
Yeah, but I guess when you're living on the same property, you can excuse the fact that you're in the same house or they're just up the hallway.
Quite exciting for an 18-year-old, I would have thought.
What do you mean?
Don't you think? In that moment to go, oh my gosh, there's so much going on here.
Well, you could think that, or you could also think that this woman has taken advantage of a young person's body and mind when it's underdeveloped.
Interesting to consider, because that person is an adult. That when
18, I know on paper you're an adult, but you're not really making adult-like decisions,
you're learning,
I don't
aren't
think.
You don't have the life experience. But to think that he's living in this sort of ranch scenario where there's a couple of homesteads, and he's going home and his wife's saying, oh, I don't really feel like it tonight, and he's going, oh, no worries. Hey, your mum just rang. She wants some orange juice for the morning. I better run it over to her quickly. And he's floating next door for a bit of how's it going.
So is that how you live your life? If you can't get it here, I'll just go somewhere else and get it.
Surprise
because
me.
my needs are more important than keeping a family together.
Wouldn't surprise me if
You're not answering anything I'm asking.
He'd been with his wife one time, and then Mum rang and said, I need the orange juice, and he's backed it up. He's gone.
I don't think
next door to the ranch.
What a lucky... I'm glad you've got that out of this story. What a lucky guy. He has everything on tap.
Well, I wouldn't call it on tap. That's sort of degrading to women. But.
Oh, my God. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? At one point in their marriage, she's pregnant with her with a child. Maybe it's child 2 or 3. And her mum falls pregnant as well with twin boys.
Oh, God, what a surprise.
And guess what? That's her husband's children as well. So her brother is now her kind of stepbrother, because her husband has fathered the twin boys that she thinks her mum had to her dad.
That family tree's got a really wonky branch in it.
You know that moment on Christmas Day when Dad finishes up
Dad
finishes up the barbecue.
Yep.
Everyone grabs their food, and you find yourself a deck chair, and you're all sitting around talking about the year.
Yeah.
How was it? How was your year? Let's go through highs
and
lows.
it's bubbling. You can feel there's tension in the air, and all you're thinking is, "Oh God, if Janelle says one more thing, I am going to rip into her."
Oh, if Janelle, have a look at this. I got a bit of mistletoe over Janelle's head. Not the first time.
Janelle and Stacey.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Actually, there's a great documentary out at the moment called Meet Me in the Bathroom, and it's from New York from 2000 to the period 2010. It's that decade when the Strokes come out, LCD sound system come out, Interpol
came out.
Franz Ferdinand. Well, the Strokes didn't really make that much money because they were the first to break. They didn't really get a record company until later. Everyone else, bands like Franz Ferdinand and the Killers and stuff like that, got these huge record contracts because everyone wanted another The Strokes.
The next one.
They wanted the next one. Talking of great bands, can we talk about Nickelback?
This is a segue.
Great segue. Your best segue of the week.
It was. And that's what I was going for. Chad Kroeger. You love him. I know you do, Matty DeGroot. I mean, this is Hero, one of the best. Actually, do you know what one of my favourite songs is?
Go on.
Figured You Out. Hey, Chad, how do you like my pants?
There's only one, isn't there?
This is the thing with it. People hate on Nickelback for sport, but they are the 11th best-selling musical act of all time.
Yeah, you know why, mate?
They've had 23 chart toppers.
Yeah, in Middle America.
19 top 100 Billboard songs.
That's
they
where
are
it's big in the
Hall of
US.
Famers.
Because they celebrate this type of basic...
Salivate or celebrate?
They salivate over this basic
Mate, I
type
went
of rock.
to Kudos Bank Arena with 20,000 people twice, sold out. Sydney loves the back.
I don't look
the
this.
back.
I don't know. There is a bit of a stink to Nickelback still, but okay. So Chad Kroeger did an interview the other day, and just to sum it up, right?
Yeah.
It was a Zoom interview, and the woman who was interviewing him, she was in the studio. Chad was doing the interview from his pool.
Awesome.
And he had an R2D2 cup and he was drinking whiskey out of it.
Makes it harder.
Rockstar.
That makes it a little bit harder. First question that the lady asked is the smell that Nickelback have had over the years, right? Okay, and have a listen to his answer.
Why do you think people love to hate Nickelback?
Honestly, that kind of used to be a thing. I shouldn't say that kind of used. That was definitely a thing for like a long time. And I think there's been a softening. There really has.
What?
Thankfully. Now, I'm not sure if it's because we've received like a ton of love on TikTok or whatever the hell it is, but like for whatever reason, the teeth have kind of been removed, and it's really nice. It's really nice to not be public enemy number one.
Never an enemy, just more of a joke, a bit of a default to fall to, because I think the problem with Nickelback is there's sort of a stench of desperation around
What do you
it.
mean?
There's some stink on it. There always has been. Like Nicolas Cage, it's just this level of desperation.
No, do you know what I do love about them, though? They stay in their lane. They know what they are.
What else are they going to do?
Well, this is the thing. And yeah, there is an audience for it.
And people go, all their songs sound the same. Every band's songs roughly sound the same.
Well, it's the same.
That's why you like the band.
It's the rise of Luke Combs at the moment. And
100%.
you know, this is the thing as well. Country's hitting as well. But see, he is what I love about him. You talk about his pool in the backyard. He's got two pools, one inside, one outside. He's got an ice hockey rink in his house.
Do you think he cares?
He's been on Cribs before.
I think he does care.
I mean, this was him on Cribs.
Some people are addicted to buying purses. Some people are addicted to buying shoes. I think I'm addicted to toys.
And his toys are quad bikes.
Of course they are.
He's got about 40 quad bikes in his backyard.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Jeez, he's got a lot of money.
I mean, if you're going to be the most hated musical act on the planet but be paid $80 million for it, I reckon you're taking
Do you know what?
the
It's
deal.
up there with James Blunt, because James Blunt's a great guy, but he understands what he is.
He does.
And Chad Kroeger doesn't understand what he is.
No, I think he does.
I don't think he does.
Chad takes the PISS out of himself a bit. Here
James
and there.
Blunt turned it into an art form to take the piss out of himself and the type of music he was doing, and could rewrite MDG, would throw it back in everybody's face, saying, I made a fortune and a couple of songs, you made nothing. So what do you want to do?
Yep. Well, James likes his pants around his feet as well.
Always.
I think sometimes.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Jeez, it was a big one yesterday, I can tell you that, at Olympic Park. Over 20,000 people. Anthony Albanese was, of course, there. They unveiled the little India plaque that will be installed at Harris Park. The Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, he was there. The crowd was wild. Have a listen to the introduction from Alba.
I said to my friend, the Prime Minister, before, the last time I saw someone on the stage here was Bruce Springsteen, and he didn't get the welcome that Prime Minister Modi has got. Prime Minister Modi is the boss.
Someone's going to need to tell Bruce Springsteen he's lost his title.
I know, how awful for Bruce.
One man who then got to sit down with him. And when I looked at the image posted online, I thought, I wonder what they spoke about. Guy Sebastian, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hello, mate.
Good morning, Guy.
I'm sorry we've woken you up. Can you tell us?
No, I've got to wake up. I'm in Adelaide. I just flew here.
You took off?
I was invited to last night, but mate, it's awful when you got to tell someone you got to go to Adelaide instead of go to, hang out with the Prime Minister.
Did he want to kick on? Did he want to kick on, Guy? Did he just stick around? Let's have a few, or no? You had to get going.
Well, it's funny because you can hear, like, obviously our Prime Minister had a microphone, but he's still yelling into the microphone, and it's because they are going nuts. They just, obviously all the Indian Australians that were there in that audience, they just love him, and they were just going nuts. You can hear how loud the crowd is.
Guy, when you sat down with him, because I looked at that image, I thought, what did you chat about? And talk us through the conversation.
Well, it's always a bit nerve-wracking, and I didn't really know what to expect. It sort of came through, probably just a week ago or something, just a request to meet up, and I thought I'd be in a big room full of other people or whatever, and the first phone call I made was to my mum, and I was like, Mum, I just had this request to meet the Prime Minister of India. So
was he a fan, Guy?
She was finally proud of you, Guy. All of the things, all of the things you've done. This phone call's come through, and she's over the line.
Was he a fan? Was Modi a fan?
No, well, I don't know how it came about. I'm guessing probably the whole,
the leaders
like
here,
the commission and stuff here, I guess, were probably, mentioned to him, well, we've got an Indian that's here that, had some success here in Australia. But I met him, and they obviously, he's so respectful, and they he would have briefed him, but he asked me all these questions about, I firstly asked about my mum. He said, we've got something in common. And the thing is, he fully understands English, and he can speak some English, but he's a lot more comfortable in speaking in Hindi. So I've sat down, and he started talking to me in Hindi. So it's just me and him in the room, and I was in the waiting room with Gina Reinhardt, and there's all these other people, I guess, that had been there, Sarah Todd, and these people that had been in there to meet him. But then I just go in there one-on-one, and he starts talking in Hindi, and I'm thinking, oh God, he thinks I speak Hindi, and
you don't.
I'm just smiling at him in the Chinese kitchen. He has no idea that I don't speak Hindi. He thinks I'm like grew up there or something.
Did you stop him?
And then suddenly this beautiful young lady is there, and she starts translating. I was going, oh, thank God.
Smiling and nodding.
But Guy Sebastian doesn't even talk to me.
Oh, he's so rude.
This guy just smiles and nods. He's a fool, this guy. No, but he asked about my mum, and he said, we've got some things in common, and he said he had some experiences in his life in Kanpur where my mum grew up, and then I just said, like my mum, I told him a bit about her and how she was orphaned at a young age and grew up, all the kids sort of had to fend for themselves, and they went through such adversity and really struggled through life, and then married my dad, who was studying over there, and they moved back to Malaysia, and then I was like, it's amazing because we were so lucky to be able to move to Australia and have all the opportunities that we, have been afforded to us, and then I've been so lucky to be able to have a career, and still, been about 20 years since I've been doing this thing, so we're just so grateful to be here. And I know my mum, this is a massive moment for her. And it was made like once I sent my mum those photos, and she sent them all to her family. She's bawling, crying.
Oh, I love that.
This is so lovely.
Growing up the way she did, it's a pretty big thing for her to be able to send that photo back to her family. And and he was like, he was so nice, and so it was like, when you're speaking to someone like that, you're a bit nervous, and you're thinking, I wonder how it'll go. But there was no pauses in the combo or anything. He was just literally asking, so how'd you get into music?
Yeah,
and that
sure.
sort of stuff.
Any cricket? Hey, Guy, any cricket chat? Because I know. Did you bring up your indoor cricket team's name with him at all? What was that again, Guy?
I was 7 honks and a black man. It was a different time than this. Different time.
Let's leave the cricket team out of that.
The World Test Championships are just around the corner before the Ashes. Did you bring up any cricket chat at all with him?
I actually didn't, no, because I think he's a muso, so he was really interested. Yeah. He brought up this Indian song that's the biggest song in India at the moment, called Natu Natu, and it's like won an Oscar for some movie soundtrack or something, and then told me the Korean embassy did a video and to check that out. So I checked it out afterwards, and I texted Smithy right after, Steve Smith right after, and I said, Prime Minister Modi says g'day. Because
Awesome.
I know that there was the last time they were playing that game in India, and there was our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Smithy, and then there was Kohli and Modi there. So,
Rad.
no,
Guy,
it was just a bit surreal.
Can you tell us, besides Gina Reinhardt, who else is waiting in the wings? Anybody else of note?
Oh yeah, I just saw Sarah Todd, the chef.
Yes.
And then I've never met Gina before, so she was waiting there. So I think she had just met him, and then and then we both had to get on a plane. Mine wasn't private, but he's their own.
Gina,
could have dropped you off on the way, mate.
Gina probably sold around about $5 billion worth of steel while she was there.
Seriously. And, I should have asked, because Adelaide's on the way to Perth. She could have just dropped me off. That's all right.
Guy, we love it, buddy. We love it.
Thank
you for sharing, mate. What a thrill
My
for your
pleasure.
mum. What a thrill for
No,
your
it
mum.
was awesome. It was so good. I'm seeing it today, actually. I flew to Adelaide. I was just at a few meetings for the foundation here, and I'm back tonight, but I'll drop in with Mum and
High
she wants
five.
to shake the same hand that shook the Prime Minister.
All right, well, don't wash it, mate. Don't do a wee and don't wash it. Good on you, buddy.
See you guys.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie.
Hey, that's the secret. Podcast password.
If you want to get your hands on stacks of great prizes, just head over to our Instagram stories at FitzyWhipperKate and enter this password. Today's password is...
Anwar.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Christian and Camden, welcome to the show, buddy. Always good to have you on. What did you want to talk about?
Morning, guys. Win Wednesday, win the week.
Well said, Christian.
Well said, mate.
Wednesday.
My T-shirt turned up on Monday.
Wow.
Oh, did it really?
Have you got it on today,
Yeah.
Christian?
I had it on. I've got my work uniform on now, but as soon as I get home, I'll get changed again.
Yeah, good.
Just
good. That's commitment.
Advice from the team here: don't wash it, Christian,
Okay.
because it shrinks and then it gets out of shape.
Mine
and
seems to be the only one that has shrunk. Ollie suggested his was getting a bit fluffy around the sleeves. Quality is questioned, but Christian, you're an official member.
Well, I was actually going, because demand is so short, I was going to put it up for auction and see if 50 wanted to start the auction.
Oh.
Just because he can't find his.
That's true.
All right, I'll start the bidding. I'll give you $4, Christian. Sold.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Oh, Christian, you should not be tempted. How dare you? It starts at
I'll take
$400.
the wrong zoo tickets.
Oh, yeah,
I'll take the
well,
wrong zoo tickets.
you're in the running, Christian. Let me just
Hold
tell
tight.
you that. You are in the running. Let's go to Emily in Matraville. What did you want to talk about, Em?
Morning. Well, there's a trend on TikTok at the moment, and it's your biggest ick. What's your biggest ick when you're maybe in a friendship or relationship?
Oh, ick.
What's something that just really you can't bear?
I mean, I'm married here at work to a guy called Fitzy, and I've seen him chew with his mouth open, and that's not a pretty sight. That's like a bulldog eating custard.
Is this ick in a relationship?
Icks in a
or-
relationship. There's a few of them.
The second toe being longer than the big toe is an ick.
Is that an ick for you?
It's a deal-breaking
Well,
ick.
what about this one? My third toe's bigger than my big toe.
my God, what?
It's actually causing major problems for my left foot at the moment, to the point that I have recently, at the age of 46, got orthotics for the first time.
Hang on a minute. Keep that quiet. Hang on. So I don't think anybody has a third toe longer than as the longest toe.
Oh, don't they?
No.
Have you measured everybody's
No, but that's
toes?
really unique, I would have thought.
I think it is. No, actually, the podiatrist told me it's quite common. It is quite common. And it
For
says...
people who need to go to see the podiatrist.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. No, well, I've never had this problem before, and I walk about 25 to 30 kilometres a week, and it's starting to get really sore. Like, it feels like my foot is bruised underneath my foot. And he said it's just because you've got those two longer toes.
Toe reduction.
They're taking all the pressure.
You need a toe
I'm
reduction.
sad we can't work out fits. We would have been great together, but that's just...
The worst thing about orthotics as well is that they don't fit into the shoes that I have now. So I've got to then buy the
Different
next
sets.
size up.
Is
Oh
it
my
a
God.
moment, because you love your joggers, right? You come in with pretty much a new pair almost every week, it feels like, when you have to slide your orthotics into the latest release Nikes or Adidas?
No, I've bought a pair of walking shoes that has the orthotics.
Some
in them.
walkers, some built-in walkers.
So then when I would go walking, I
Have
just
you
use
got
those
walking
now.
poles as well?
The ski poles.
Thanks for your call, Em. Rob's in Glenorrey. Hey, Rob.
Hello, guys.
What do you want to
Good
talk
morning.
about, buddy?
Well, guys, I'm just here at Glenorrey Bakery baking some fresh pies this morning, and I thought I really got to call Fitzy and Whipper. I know Whipper loves a good pie.
Don't I?
What I want to know, Whipper, is when are you coming down to Glenorrey Bakery to try some of Australia's best meat pies, mate?
I mean, it's a huge claim to go out there and say this is Australia's best meat pie. You confident in that, Rob? How long have you been making pies for?
Well, we've just been voted Australia's #1 bakery for a third year in a row.
What?
Yep.
You know, I've been down there a couple of times, Rob. I've tried your pies.
I've met you here before, mate.
Yes.
I met you here before. You have?
Yes, I have spoken
was
to you. Yeah, it was magnificent. But Rob, you got to tell us what's the secret ingredient that sets you apart from everybody else? What do you think it is? Is it in the gravy?
Well, it's part of it. It's part of it. But the issue is with pies, and everyone sort of everyone gives pies a bad rap because of what goes in them. But you know, most of your local bakeries, they know exactly what's going in their pies. They're not mass-produced. They're handmade.
Yeah.
And it's all about starting off with your beef, making sure you've got lean, fresh beef. And you're cooking it for 2 to 3 hours. Give it a nice cook.
Yeah.
And you want a nice tender meat in your pie, and no gristle and no fat and none of the stuff that the big boys are putting in there to save money. It's all
Because
about quality.
I think, too, when you eat a pie, Rob, it needs to be celebrated. So everything needs to be right. The environment needs to be right. So the temperature, the fluffiness
The
of the pastry.
temperature is a big one. You can't have it too hot,
No,
Rob.
the angle of the bite, the sauce quantity, all of these things are crucial to making the experience the best it can be.
Well, can I also say, Rob, you've done very well because your staff down there, because the lineups are massive at your... they're massive, but you know what? You get them through very quickly. You've got some good staff down there.
I appreciate that, mate. I really do. And it sounds like you guys know quite a bit about eating a pie. Maybe we've got to start writing a few rules to eating pies, and maybe we can put them up in the shop here.
That's not crazy, Rob. First things first, I'm coming to say good day. I need to try this pie.
Jeez, I'm salivating.
When are you coming, mate?
I don't know.
When are you coming? We'll book it in.
Soon, Rob. We're going to make it a glorious day, okay?
Well, it's your wife's birthday today. Why don't you take her down and get one of Rob's pies?
Yes.
It's perfect pie weather, boys.
Perfect pie weather.
It is.
Sun's out, slightly fresh.
It's a beautiful drive. It's a magnificent drive.
All right, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it, buddy.
Okay, actually, Rob, just stay there. We'll get
Hold
one
tight.
quick review of your pies from Jimmy in Abbotsford. What do you want to say, Jim?
Oh, mate, they're the best pies, Rob.
Well done, Jimmy.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What are the chances?
What are the chances of this happening for Mary? She was cleaning the toilet one day and unfortunately her diamond ring fell off her finger, went down into the bowl round the S-bend. See you later. Diamond ring, one main diamond and 16 little diamonds around it.
Oh, wow. So an engagement ring or
Yeah,
something.
she's been married for 46 years. That's how old this beautiful ring was.
So it's gone? I would say it's gone forever, is it?
If I wasn't serving up this story under the title of...
What are the chances?
Oh, no way she found it again.
What do you mean?
Thanks so much for the opportunity to share. What happened was she wrote it off and said it's impossible. We're never going to find this ring.
Yeah.
We can't get this ring back.
That's juicy. That
Resigned to
makes
the
the
fact.
story even juicier.
Okay, so
Well
you
done.
know her thinking, you know her mindset now because I've shared that
It's
with
gone
you.
forever.
That's what she's thinking.
What's her name again? Sorry?
Her name's Mary.
Okay, Mary.
Mary wrote it off. She said, stuff it. There's no way I'll get that back.
Oh, you've doubled down.
13 years later.
You said that bit. Yeah.
I didn't say 13 years.
No, you did the...
So that's new.
it's
That's
gone.
new for the listener. 13 years later, her husband, right?
What?
Goes to see his brother working at a water treatment plant.
And his brother's sleeping with his wife.
He looks down in the water treatment area, and there, bogged in the mud on the side of a catchment area, is her ring from 13 years ago.
Wow.
So,
What are the chances?
yes, you may have jumped the gun and thought it's going to come back to her. The chances that her brother worked at the water treatment plant. The fact that her husband turned up on that day just to say good day to his brother, right? And managed to see the ring embedded into that bog on the side of the...
Did you make this up?
Let's move on to Lisa in North Rocks. Lisa,
Hi.
what are the chances?
Well, I listed a house in North Rocks, and I said to the vendor after I listed it, I've got a buyer. And when I brought the buyer around, he bought the house, and finally worked out that the buyer had bought the vendor's previous house in Carlingford. So they're following each other.
Without any idea?
Without any idea.
What are the chances?
The odds are very high on that.
The odds are very high. The odds are very high.
Different segment. Very different segment. What are the odds? It's impossible to know what the odds would be. You could crunch the numbers if you wanted.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
What a coincidence.
Let's cross to Shaquille O'Neal at Pointsbet. How are you, Shaquille?
What are the odds? Liz in Kings Langley, what are the chances?
Hi. So about 30 years ago, my auntie was in Sydney visiting us from the country, and she found a handbag that she liked. And when she opened it, there was $7,200 inside. So she purchased the bag, keeping it on her shoulder close to her. And 4 weeks later, she died, and that was the exact money for her funeral. She was 24 years old, so she wouldn't have had any money in savings for a funeral. So that paid for it.
That's weird.
That is one of the best we've ever had.
Hey,
but that's almost like someone foreseeing her death.
Yes, it is. How did she die, Liz?
She died of septicemia. She had an ingrown toenail, and she was a nurse, and she didn't pick up, and she went to Brisbane, and the doctors didn't look at her foot, and they thinned her blood, thinking she had a blood clot in her leg, which sent the poison through her whole body.
Oh, my murder.
I'm going to throw this out there, but is it a form of karma for taking the money?
No.
Out of the bag. You could have handed the bag. You could have handed the bag in with the money.
You drove a getaway car for a robbery at a grog shop. Do you deserve to be dead?
I had no idea what I was doing.
You still did. Do you deserve to die?
I haven't heard this story.
That's another one.
I'm just saying that, she had the chance to hand the money in, and that the owner could have got it back.
Yeah, so God paid her back.
Liz,
God took her.
You've won. You've won the prize.
Hang on a minute.
You're not even going to listen to the others.
What about Jamie and Lachlan?
Yeah, we'll listen to the others, but they're hopeless because Liz is the winner.
One thing is that I love listening to you guys in the morning and the other guys in the afternoon. My partner, Andrew Shearer, got me onto you guys, and now I listen to you since I met him. Can I give him a shout out?
Yeah, we love Andrew Shearer.
Andrew Shearer owns Hire a Hubby for not Kings Langley, for Kellyville and Bella Vista.
He's a handyman.
Hire a Hubby.
He's a handyman.
And Andy, he's Handy Andy.
Oh, Liz,
you're Handy Andy.
Liz, that's we're gonna get that story out there. I think that story will go viral. That's crazy.
Get that on the top, guys. Get that on the top.
When she stayed in our house for that 2 weeks when she was on holidays and found the money, they didn't even tell my mum. My auntie gave my mum $50 and said thanks for having us, and then racked off and didn't say that she had just found $7,000.
Yeah, but my toe hurts a bit.
Wow, that is crazy. Let's go to
Jamie in Richmond. What are the chances, buddy?
Hey guys, when I was 16, my dad took me to buy my first car. We went on a Saturday and we went back to buy it on a Sunday, and we're told that another young kid had bought it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I married that guy.
Oh, wow. Jamie, that's good.
The guy that got the boy.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, we only found out. We only figured it out about 5 years ago when he was showing me photos of his old car. I'm like, that was the car that I wanted.
Jamie's a female, not a 13-year-old boy.
That's what the F next to Jamie's name was for, but you said buddy.
The listener can't see the F.
Yeah, but you said buddy.
Jamie's a female.
You said buddy.
Well, girls can be a buddy.
Yeah, they absolutely can. Best of buddies.
Lachlan in Barangaroo.
Yep, what are the chances of me winning?
Oh, no, you need more than that.
That's so sad.
Shaky. No, I'll give you my story. I bought a brand new GoPro, and then I wanted to get out on the jet ski and have a bit of a play around, so I connected it with those attachments and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, halfway through, it fell off on the beach down down there, and I was pretty shitty. Anyway, 2 weeks later passed. So then I went and bought a new one.
Yep.
I was so gutted I
New
lost
one,
it.
yep.
Yep, 2 weeks later, it rocked up at my front door. What are the chances?
How?
Right?
How?
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot that one day I was down the surf club. I put the camera on my dashboard and mounted myself driving home. So the people looked at that footage and just followed that path right to my front door. What the hell?
If it was any other day, Lachlan, you would have won.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.